Hello, my name is Joe Kress, history reporter with the Sentinel newspaper in Carlisle, Pennsylvania. Welcome to this installment of History Behind the Haunting. I'm standing inside the building at 911 East High Street in downtown Carlisle. Now, this building has been many things over the course of its 200-plus year history. Today, it's the home of Palooza, a family-friendly art and activity center. In November 2016, co-owners Jim and Karen Griffith began the work to remodel the building. They thought they had everything lined up: the financing, the supplies, the tools, the floor plan, the building permit from Carlisle Borough, but apparently they were wrong. They had neglected to get input from a prior owner, a tailor named Charles Marquette. It is believed this unintended slight left Marquette feeling a bit peeved, irritated by what he saw as a violation of his pride and joy. He was uneasy about the design choices Jim and Karen Griffith were making. Oh, and did I mention that Charles Marquette is dead? Dead and buried, at least in body. But for 4 months, from November 2016 to March 2017, this building at 911 East High Street was alive with strange happenings and the tense feeling of being watched. Jim Griffith is here today to give us a quick tour of the place and an overview of some of the strangeness.
Hi, I'm Jim Griffith. My wife Karen and I own Palooza in downtown Carlisle at 9-11 East High Street. It's a large historic mixed-use building. We're actually standing at a second store at the site called Gilded Door, but these stories date to when we were first bringing Palooza into the building 2 years ago. Karen and I first got started in fall of 2016. The building hadn't seen very much use for about 15 years. There were a couple upstairs apartments, but no businesses were here for long. So we found things in a big state of disarray, and we set to work trying to remodel this building. It had been modernized quite a bit by a law firm, so there were low ceilings, drywall. You wouldn't know some of the old features that were still in it. So we actually wanted to expose those old features, like 14-foot ceilings and so on. The more that we did, the weirder things got, especially when we started making holes in walls for doors with borough approval. But when we did these things to the building, something seemed to notice. And I'm saying that as a person who's been a very big skeptic of this type of story until experiencing it firsthand. Things would happen like old-fashioned planer that we used for doors being disassembled every time we came. Walking into the back door early in the morning and hearing something fall on the floor and walking in and seeing that something was literally dropped in the middle of the floor or it wasn't at an hour before. Having light bulbs burst when we started to change rooms a little bit. Getting smoke blown in our face in the middle of the night because it seemed like something wanted plugs unplugged that shouldn't be overnight. I mean, it was like a sense of being chaperoned by someone who was very picky about what we did at this building. We actually have, from our security cameras from February 2017, the cameras are still in place, and they're set up to record on infrared or motion, and they record in 2-minute bursts. So late at night, in February of 2017, after a tenant had moved out the entire evening up and down the stairs with furniture and so on, my wife Karen noticed what looked like an orb appear at the back door behind me here and wander through this hallway, flickering as it went, and then head up the stairs. And we were actually reluctant to share that video for the past 2 years because we didn't want to give the impression this is like a creepy place to be, because it's very pleasant here. But after all this time, we're sort of like, why not? I mean, it's what it is. People can take it or leave it, but it's pretty interesting that that was filmed here. It's almost sort of like the fun's over. You'd almost have trouble believing it did happen. It's been so calm in the last 2 years. We must have done something they liked if there was someone keeping an eye on us, because it's been very uneventful.